Hello there, peace and blessings. It's so good to see you again. So, today I want to give you 5 essential reasons why you need to write your book and write your book now. Now, not later. But before I get into the 5 reasons, I just want to say this. Writing is so very important. God has talked about writing in the Bible, all throughout the Bible. God wrote the Bible through people, through his disciples, through his apostles. They wrote the Bible, and we learned how to write in school. That's one of the things that you learn as soon as you start school. They start teaching you the alphabet and start teaching you how to form words, and then how to form a sentence, and then how to construct a story. We are always telling a story. The world has been built on stories. We tell each other stories because we want them to know our experiences. We want them to know our experiences because perhaps we want them to have some information so they don't fall into the same trap you fell into, or maybe so they can do the same thing that you did, to go down the same road you went down for success. There's all kinds of reasons why we tell stories. We tell stories. Some stories are just for entertainment, but even in the entertainment there are things to learn. There's fiction and there's nonfiction, but in every fiction story there's a little truth. In every nonfiction story, maybe there's a little fabricated stuff. This is how human beings, how we live. Because we know that we're not here forever. We know that this is a temporary life. So we know that we need to pass along information. And that is how we pass information along, by writing. We write it down, people read it, and it's been that way since the beginning of time. God has showed us how important writing is. So, let's go ahead and jump into the 5 reasons why you need to write your book, and write your book now. The first reason you need to write your book. You got your pen and paper ready, by the way, because you need to write this down. 1. It's your book. It's your story. Nobody can tell your story except you. So, all you need is a pen and a paper. You don't even have to have a computer. Although you are going to have to transfer it to a computer later, or pay somebody, or get a really nice friend to do it for you for free. But, that's a sidebar. But, yeah, you can start your writing with a pen and a paper. It's your story. You need to write it. You need to tell it. That's 1. 2. The second reason that you need to write your story, and you need to write your story now, is somebody needs to hear your story. There's somebody out there that needs to know your experience. Why? Because they're probably going through the same thing that you're going through. Or maybe they know somebody that's going through it and they need to pass the information along. We are all going through the same things down here. It might not be the exact same thing, but we run into the same issues, the same successes, the same problems, the same relationship issues. We all run into that. And we need to hear from other people that have experience with that, so that we know which way to go. You're writing the blueprint for somebody. You could be really saving someone from something, from just disappointment. If you have a story in you that is just, that passion that's in you, and you're like, I really need to tell the story, and it's like nudging at you day after day, then that's somebody in the universe really reaching out that they need to hear that story. And you need to tell it. You need to tell it. That's how we got where we are today, right? From hearing other people's stories. Okay, enough about that. Let's get to number 3. The third reason that you need to write your story is, this one is so exciting. It could be the next bestseller. It could be the next blockbuster movie. They might turn your book into a movie. Who knows? If your story is that awesome. Is your story that awesome? Well, I know it is. So you need to write it because you could just be sitting on something great. And how would you ever know that if you don't write the story? You know, then one day you'd be one of those people who's sitting around saying woulda, coulda, shoulda. And you don't want to be that person. So go ahead. Write your story. The fourth reason you need to write your story, and you need to write your story now, is you're not getting any younger. The more you wait, the more time goes by. It just keeps going by, and then the next thing you know, well, you've walked through that time warp, which I've walked through a couple times, by the way, and you need to go, listen to my video on the time warp thing. But before you know it, a lot of time has passed by. And I'm sure you already got so much to say. You probably got a couple books in you. Way more than one, I'm sure. So what are you waiting for? The time is now. What could you possibly be waiting for? Pick up that pen, get that paper, and start writing. You're not getting any younger. And the fifth reason that you need to write your book, and write your book now, is, okay, let's face it, we're all on quarantine, right? We're all in the world at a stay-at-home order. This is the best time, the best excuse, if you need to give your brain an excuse as to why you need to write your book now. This is the best excuse you have. You're home. You're quarantined. This is the perfect time. Even the whole world is quarantined. This is your time to just meditate, and then you can get all your thoughts gathered into one spot, and then you can start putting them in order, and just take your time and get them out on paper. This is the perfect time during the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. Write that down. It's the best time for you to write. Everything has stopped. The world is on hold. Think about it. Oh yeah, I know. We talk about the money. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the spiritual aspect of what is happening all around you. Soak it in and realize this is your time to be a creative. We all have learned how to write, which means we're all writers. We all come from the great creator who created the heavens and the earth, and we are created in his or her image. And we are writers. Whether you want to believe it or not, we are creators. And your story needs to be told. So, get that pen, get that paper, get that laptop, or just get on your computer at your desk and start writing today. I want to see that book. In fact, I want you to tell me about your writing experience. We're going to talk some more about writing too later, but for now, happy writing. I'll see you next time.
going deeper, but I have to stay afloat. It's not easy. Be a person you don't want. Can somebody take me other thing going to do?